Carlos Alcaraz and Juan Carlos Ferrero maintain a very special relationship that is about to undergo an imminent and inevitable change, which not only affects them but also alters something very special between them. The two have been together for many years, with Ferrero playing a fundamental role in training and during matches. However, from now on, their bond may become even more important in tournaments as significant as the Grand Slams. The fact is that the International Tennis Federation, ITF, has approved the controversial on-court coaching rule, which will allow coaches to give advice to players from the stands. This initiative, set to be implemented in 2025, follows various tests conducted since 2017 and, starting in 2023, in ITF-organized events, including the 4 Grand Slams, ATP, and WTA tournaments. Under this new rule, coaches will be able to provide both verbal and non-verbal instructions at any time except during points, and these must be brief and discreet, except during breaks between games. Additionally, players will gain access to performance analysis technology when the measure is implemented. Some players, like Canadian Denis Shapovalov, have criticized the rule for eliminating the individual character of the sport. Not just as a player, but also as a fan, it's sad to see this new rule. Tennis is special because it's just you out there. Why would you try to change the beauty of this game? Said the Canadian, who received support from Magnus Norman, a former world number 2, Roland Garros finalist, and later coach of Stan Wawrinka, Gael Monfils, and Grigor Dimitrov. According to the ITF, the goal is to make tennis fairer and more entertaining and to relieve chair umpires of the pressure of sanctioning coaching, which has been prohibited until now. Each organization, ATP, WTA, and ITF, will be able to decide whether to implement coaching in their tournaments. The bond between Alcaraz and Ferrero. Carlos Alcaraz has had a meteoric rise in recent years under the guidance of his coach and mentor, Juan Carlos Ferrero. At just 21 years old, he has already won 4 majors thanks to his aggressive and versatile playing style, which allows him to adapt to different surfaces and opponents, cementing himself as a future tennis star. Juan Carlos Ferrero, a former world number 1 and 2003 Roland Garros champion, has been instrumental in Alcaraz's development. Ferrero joined Alcaraz's team in 2018 when the young Spaniard was just beginning his professional career. Since then, Ferrero has worked to improve both the technical and tactical aspects of his protégé, helping him develop greater maturity in match management and refine his aggressive baseline game. Ferrero has also brought his experience as an elite player, which has been crucial in helping Alcaraz handle pressure in key moments. The relationship between Alcaraz and Ferrero is more than just a coach-player connection. It has evolved into a partnership based on mutual respect and trust, even becoming a friendship. Ferrero has not only shaped Alcaraz's innate talent but has also been a key mentor, guiding him as he transitions to the biggest stages in world tennis. Alcaraz's plan to become the perfect player by 2025. Carlos Alcaraz is a different kind of athlete. At just 21 years old, he has had the honor of breaking several seemingly impossible records in world tennis, particularly as part of the first generation to succeed the Big Three legends who defined a unique era in the sport. But, if that wasn't enough, Alcaraz continues to shatter records, with 2025 marked as a potentially defining year for him. Despite his youth, Alcaraz already boasts 16 career titles. Among all his major achievements, his 4 Grand Slam victories stand out: Roland Garros, 2024, Wimbledon, 2023 and 2024, and the US Open, 2022. From another perspective, he is just 1 Grand Slam short of completing the career Grand Slam, the Australian Open, and in just a few weeks, he will have his big opportunity. Only 8 male players in history have achieved the career Grand Slam: Fred Perry, Don Budge, Rod Laver, Roy Emerson, Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, a truly elite group. Alcaraz knows that joining such an exclusive list is a feat reserved for the greatest athletes in history, but with an added bonus: his age. To date, the youngest player to complete the career Grand Slam was Nadal, who accomplished this incredible feat at 24 years old. Now, Nadal's successor has the chance to achieve it 3 years earlier. If Alcaraz wins in Australia, he will have claimed all 4 Grand Slam titles at just 21 years old, an achievement that many don't even dream of, and one that others spend their entire careers chasing. Australia, however, has been the most challenging Grand Slam for the Spaniard. Last year, he delivered his best performance yet, starting the tournament strong but faltering in the quarterfinals against Alexander Zverev. This year, however, Alcaraz arrives with lessons learned and a clear focus, much more mature and aware that he can make history. And he's not the only one who thinks so. In fact, others have even greater expectations for him. Many legends believe Alcaraz has all the tools to define an era, but he still has to prove it on the court. One such legend is Mats Wilander. The Swede, a former world number 1 and 7-time Grand Slam champion, never completed the career Grand Slam himself, falling short at Wimbledon. However, he believes Alcaraz can go a step further. Speaking on his Eurosport show, Wilander predicted an extraordinary season for Alcaraz, calling it his year of confirmation. My prediction, which might seem bold, is that Carlos Alcaraz will win all 4 Grand Slams in 2025. Jannik Sinner could do it too, but I think the Spaniard will play better than ever in Australia, said the Swede, confident in his forecast. First challenge for Alcaraz ahead of the Australian Open. In addition to the lack of preparation time Ferrero mentioned for Carlos Alcaraz's preseason, new changes have had to be made on the fly. My very bold prediction for 2025 is that either Carlos Alcaraz or Jannik Sinner will win the calendar Grand Slam, said Mats Wilander in a recent interview when asked who he thought would dominate the Grand Slams in 2025. The 2 leading stars of the new generation are under the spotlight, alongside Novak Djokovic, who has been meticulously preparing for the start of the year to reclaim his throne at the Grand Slam he has won the most, the Australian Open. Djokovic recently left Thailand and is now heading to Brisbane, where he will debut early next week. Carlos Alcaraz has been following the plan he started 3 weeks ago, after playing 2 exhibition matches in the United States. Adjustments have been made to the original schedule, and he is wrapping up his preparation at the Ferrero Tennis Academy by training with an unexpected rival, young Jordanian Abdullah Shelbey, another promising player on the circuit and currently ranked 181st in the world at 21 years old. Criticism of a packed ATP schedule. Alcaraz is squeezing in training sessions before traveling next week to Oceania. Recently, his coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero, spoke with Punto Break about the lack of time. The difference compared to the previous preseason is that we have less time. Finishing so late is just how it is, the schedule is very tight. We'd love to have more time to better organize rest periods so he'd arrive fresher for key events, but since we can't change it, we adapt. Carlos came back very motivated, the break did him a lot of good, and the 2 exhibitions helped him get going. In the first week, we focused on physical adaptation, along with some tests with Babolat and Nike for the shoes. The second week was more about volume, spending 3 hours on court and having more intense training. Next week, we'll start incorporating match play, Ferrero explained. Although Alcaraz had planned specific opponents for this week, changes were made last minute. Ferrero hopes this doesn't become a decisive factor in Alcaraz's pursuit of his first major goal of the year, winning the Australian Open, the only Grand Slam he hasn't conquered and where he has never advanced past the quarterfinals. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, because here at Tennis Zone, we're dedicated to bringing you the best content for the best audience. We provide in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and comprehensive coverage of everything related to the world of tennis. Join our community and be part of the excitement of the tournaments with us. Moreover, at Tennis Zone, we strive to deliver up-to-date, high-quality content about players, tournaments, strategies, and the most relevant happenings in the world of tennis.